What is good? Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Friday. I'm a few minutes later than usual, but we are live. We are live, and it is Friday, and we have at least something to look at. Awesome. So, we've got a up day, kind of, in the market. It wasn't really looking that good about, a couple hours ago, but we've grinded back, and we've been kind of curling back up. It was a gap up overnight, followed by a sell-off, kind of filling the gap back down to pretty much right where we were at the close yesterday. Went red for a tiny bit, and now we're grinding back up and trying to push back above VWAP for those who care to look at VWAP. How about that? QQQ, similar story, and the Dow is a similar story there. The Russell is not. The Russell is well under the close yesterday. And can anyone take a crazy guess as to what may be the reason why the Russell is weak? I don't know. Maybe something like the 10-year being up about 1% today. That doesn't surprise me that the Russell is weaker. 10-year, though, is in kind of consolidation mode, though, for all we got going on. What's going on, Millen? We are, big move down, chilling, and now it's consolidating on the 10-year for now. But not surprising that the Russell is down the most on the day. Well, it's down on the day compared to everything else, which is technically up. Some sectors are down, but many are up. If we look over at where's the strength at right now, what's the strongest? SMH up 1.43. It was up a lot more. It's not maybe as strong as it was. Look at that though. Ha! Talk about a day there. Woo! Nothing. A big old load of nothing the entirety of the day after the open. And it's funny, we were just talking about this and we were saying the thing about what's funny about the Nvidias and the SMCIs and stuff. Look at these charts. They all look the same. Let's see AMD. Yeah. Massive move initially and then nothing all day. So for people who like to play strangles, straddles, things like that, because these are big movers and you're like, I don't want to pick a direction. I'm just going to say we're going to get a big move. These stocks maybe are not the best plays anymore because they've been played out and they're in kind of a, consolidation, at least as of now. I do like the idea of Nvidia above 925, 920, 925. I do like that. But right now it's in consolidation. Consumer confidence, yes. I remember seeing that. That was the big move. And the market took a dump, that happened, and that's essentially what sent us down, it seemed like. It's like I always say, with those consumer confidences, they will move the market. Sometimes they move more than others. Sometimes it's just a little hiccup and no one cares, and then other times we get a decent move. Do we have the numbers on here? Let's see. I think we already fast forwarded to the next week here. Consumer sentiment came in. Yeah, those numbers are not at all. So they came in at 67.4 versus a 76 median forecast, so way underneath sentiment-wise. But how about stock market sentiment? Not that bad. Pretty good, actually. 40% bullish as of yesterday, or as of, I guess, Wednesday. 35% neutral and 23.8% bearish. For everyone who's keeping track at home. But yeah. That's currently what we got going on. So I want to pull a bunch of charts up. We got about 30 minutes until close. We'll check some charts. We'll check much moving big. Not a lot. The risk on is where I'm seeing the most weakness. Like a firm down a shit ton. ARK down 2.67%. Oh, that's a nasty looking candle on ARK right there. What else? Shopify down 5. I mean, that was down. That got hit off earnings a couple days ago. Now it's continuing to come down. Snap's down 3, but it was very strong prior to that. Unity Software. Woo, baby. Get rocked. Nuos. Now, this was not tradable to me. I mean, it could have been. I guess maybe on the bigger time frames. Yeah, no, maybe there's something to be said. No, it would have stopped me out if I had traded it. It would have stopped me out. Yeah. Because I was looking at this big breakdown and it doesn't look good. I mean, this doesn't look good. You know, you consolidate, put pressure, lower highs, breaking it down after earnings. It's like, ooh, that does not look good at all. But does that mean that that's a bad buy from an investing perspective? If you like Unity software, I don't know. Maybe it's a good buy. You know, the times when you break down big supports is like if you were to combine like technicals, understanding of technicals, and then like your investing strategy of like buy the dip strategy, you know what I mean? And you timed it up saying, hey, we got a big support. If that support breaks, like we can get a big move down. Then that's kind of you being like, oh, well, that would be a really good time to dollar cost average into this because if we get a big move down, better deals, better prices. It's almost like you can see when the store is going to have a price cut and then go buy whatever item you wanted to buy that you had to buy anyway, or you're going to buy anyway when the price cut occurs. But you kind of have a sense to know when there's a better chance that price cut's going to happen versus not. You know what I mean? Is what technicals kind of feel like to me. If you combine that with like a dollar cost average strategy, which I think is a good way to do it for the long run. I really do. Oil. So check the 10 years chart, right? The 10-year kind of looks like either we're in this consolidation or this consolidation, right? And oil just weak today, but the 10-year is in that consolidation, kind of following suit with oil to a degree after lagging a couple of days or weeks. Earnings on Mara, and let's take a peek. I mean, it's a tough day for risk on. Mara had a couple of days ago where it popped off of some news, I believe, or whatever, and it looked good. Now, not the case, so I'm not really that surprised, to be honest with you. If you like Bitcoin and you like risk on, then this is not a bad stock to be looking at for the long side if you are in that camp. I personally am not gonna touch this. Just me though. And max up 100%. Holy shit. Damn. Now it's coming down off of where it was, but I mean 100% from a stock that. Remember the stock though? Remember the stock? This was a freaking $300 stock at one point. Now it's back down to under 10. But it was actually under 5 recently, which is crazy. Who wants to take a bet? I don't know. I'm just from a who wants to take a bet on NVAX over the next year? Is it above or below $10 in the next year? Unless we have another pandemic. My bet is that it is going to be substantially below $10, unless they do splits or whatever. Who knows? No, I'm all out of silver. It actually was really good. That trade was really good. I probably could have done a better job of scaling out of that because I got out of the silver trade at 28 and it ended up going nearly to 29. So I probably could have done a better job of scaling out. But it was like a 2-to-1 risk reward across the board, which was like, based off of my numbers, is just beautiful. If I get a 2-to-1, I'm very happy with the 2-to-1. So I took it and that was it. And I was looking at, where I could potentially see, it was coming up into the area that it consolidated before the breakdown here. So I was like, I don't know how much more above 28 I really like it. We got a nice push up there, and now it's going to be, it's not of interest anymore to me now. A lot to do its thing. It's going to need to consolidate or take some time off, I think. But let me just get rid of these lines. But it looks very strong, though. Very strong relative. And gold is looking great as well. So gold and silver, man, these are the two that I will be watching. For momentum, if you are looking for those types of setups, they'll be on my radar every single day, every single week, just to take a look at how they're shaking out. I know that's for sure. Yeah, oil bear flag. I think it could be. It's possible. Yeah, it's a little bit wonky, but yeah, no, I see what you. I see the idea. This big lower wick I don't like, but I see the idea. So doesn't look great, especially if this is, maybe even a lower high, right? You don't look great on oil as of right now. But yeah, the scaling out is good. We'll see. That trade was great though. It was technically 2 trades. It was a really good trade. I'm happy with it. Then we'll move on to the next one. Home Depot, I closed out today for a win. That hit my target, and I'm in JP Morgan, which is the only position I have open right now, which, believe it or not, is actually up like a good amount today. It's up 0.7, so it's not bad, but it's approaching $200 already, which looks really good. I'm looking for 203. I would love to scale out of this one, so I'm hopefully, it depends upon how it gets to 203 and when, or if it does. At this point in time, though, I'm likely to hold it through CPI unless it starts to come back a lot or it's very close to my target. Then I won't. Is it a risk? Yeah, it is. But when you're way off, like when you're on a swing trade, it's not that big of a deal. If I was very close to my stop loss, which is here, or very close to my take profit, I would rather not take on the extra risk and just lock the gains or lock the loss versus holding through one more night or whatever. So, but we'll see. We'll see. That's not till Tuesday is PPI, which is, I think, less important. Well, it's important, but I think it's less impactful. And then Wednesday CPI. So I think it kind of works out good that the market will get a sense for what's going to happen, and either we're probably going to hit PT or not. I would say by Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, whatever happens, happens. Who cares? I'm not going to be looking for new positions likely for any swing trades until after Tuesday or Wednesday. Got like a little dry spot back in my throat for a second. I hate when those things happen, I thought I got allergies for the first time in a long time a couple weeks ago, but I don't know if they were allergies, to be honest. It seemed like it, but then I don't know. Was it just a cold or was it allergies? I couldn't really tell. It went away fairly fast, like 3-4 days, and that was good. Weaker consumer confidence, lesser demand, possibly. But yeah, if we are going to go higher in general from like Bitcoin, S&P, like overall this year, if we're going to go higher, you're getting some. You have looks, I would say, in Bitcoin and crypto, and you have looks in risk on that offer potentially some really good upside if we are going to have a strong year. I mean, I'm not here to gamble on that. I don't care to gamble on that and say, but if that's what ends up happening, then that's the place that you're going to that's where you're probably going to be able to milk out the most gains. The S&P, great. Yeah, could it keep going? And, yeah, it could have a great year. Could it go to 550, with a 575? Yeah, maybe. But if that happens, you probably get much bigger moves in risk on and maybe even crypto as well. Not that I'm closely following crypto, but just, we take a look at it and see. Yeah, got to push 525 here. There'll be a new high on the S&P, which is not that far away, believe it or not. CPI next week has the catalyst to do it. Either we're going to, if the reaction's good, very, very likely to blast through. If it's not so good, could be a great opportunity for a pullback next week. So we're going to see. But yeah, that's on Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday next week, you have a decent amount of shit coming out. You got the jobless claims and a bunch of other data, all prior to the market opening, which is awesome. We love that because I just hate when shit happens at like 10 a.m. or 9:45 or 11 a.m. It's like, just put it all out pre-market and that's it. And then we watch the market and the market reacts. Check out fear and greed. We are sitting in neutral right now. which has bounced back a good bit from where we were. We were down as low as 32 on this, and now we're up to, well, it's not that big of a bounce. Now we're up to 48. Okay. Big whoop. Big deal. Financials looking strong. It's a good spot to. That's why I like the JP Morgan trade. Citi just broke. Citigroup just broke this level, which looks good for a potential push to new. I don't know if it's a new high. Well, actually, technically it's a double top. Technically a double top with the April 24th high. You zoom out far enough, it's not a new all-time high by any means. It's actually not the best of spots if you look big picture, like the past, like you're coming up into an area that would be interesting. That's all I'll say. Very strong though. Very strong the past couple months on the financials. Very strong. JP Morgan, much different looking chart, which is also makes sense to be why I like it so much. Relatively speaking, I mean, it's a beautiful look though. Compare, right? Very strong, much stronger than Citi, and pushing up into new all-time highs. When you break a new all-time high, maybe there's some momentum there, maybe. And yeah. How about the main players here? Let's check out the main guys. Meta, grinding its way back up. AMD kind of boring. NVIDIA in a consolidation holding pattern. Microsoft is looking pretty decent past couple of days. Apple down today, but it's kind of in consolidation after the earnings gap up. Amazon went to a new all-time high, then it's come back. I don't love that chart because of that wonkiness. Google, kind of weird, choppy. IWM has the potential right now to put in a beautiful Head and Shoulders. Has the potential. But do you want to bet on that, or do you want to bet on continuation to the upside? I don't know. You tell me. Kind of have a trend here. I guess not really a strong, clear level, but could be. That is the question, which would be a great signal for a short. But we'll see if we get that. Nice gap to fill. Back to about 200 on IWM if it wants to come down, which is another 425 from here. Tesla kind of resuming its nature of being kind of shitty. Simple as that, which I don't love it, man, because I don't love I mean, let's just take a look at the 5-minute chart and see. No. There's nothing here that I would be interested in. 1 hour time frame, yeah, maybe. But I wouldn't trade it. I really wouldn't. I mean, I was thinking a couple days ago, maybe we're getting back to Tesla being strong. If the market's going to be strong and Tesla's going to be weak, I'm not going to trade Tesla. Because the way it reacts and the way it acts when the market's doing one thing versus it plays its own games, which is fine. It has a lot of wicks, a lot less momentum. Yeah, that could be good on IWM. What I would want to see for that would probably be, push it down to 200, and then maybe from there you can judge if you want to swing it with a risk of like $6 to make maybe 10 or more than 10. I'd be looking for making like 15. So like a risk reward could be like a big picture swing, would be my view. I mean, the Dow was right within reach of all-time highs. QQQ right within reach of all-time highs. SPY, same thing. They're very close to all-time highs. Jets. Let's see how Delta Airlines has been doing. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Volume has come down a lot, though. Past couple of days, you've got maybe a setup right here. A little flaggy. But very nice move the past couple weeks. Oh, look at that look on KRE. Damn. That looks really interesting for a breakout above 50, 50, 50. $50.50. That looks like an interesting level for a breakout, for maybe a push up into like the 50 to fill this gap. Could be juicy there. Oh, consumer staples are crushing today. Look at that chart. Real estate, I'm going to play with the 10-year a lot. XLU has been on an absolute tear, and it keeps on freaking tearing to the upside. Crazy move there. XLV curling up nicely. XRT just making some higher lows. Netflix just recovered right back up to pretty much to its high. Pretty close to it. Yeah, the Tesla news cycle has not been the best. Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. And think about it, though. From like, we had that surge of COVID and like whatever, and people had more money maybe back then and stuff. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just like the simple hype cycle. But like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just my experience now where I am, what I see, and someone could live a completely different, life with a completely different view. But like Tesla right now, like what, like why? Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even talking. I'm not talking the stock. I'm talking like the company. Like, I think you realize when you like jerk someone off so hard, or company or anything off for so long, like there's hype there for a while, and then eventually it fades, and people start to go like, yeah, why the fuck did I care about Tesla and Elon Musk? It's just, it's I gotta care about my own shit, not someone else. I don't know. It's just kind of how it felt. Like he got so much hype. He was in the news all the time. Everyone was loving him, or you loved him or you hate him, and a lot of people in the financial space loved him. Maybe that was because they were making money off his stock, and now it's the opposite. And also the company too. Like there was a big surge of people buying Teslas, and now it's like, well, there's other EVs out there. I don't think anyone really competes the same way that Tesla is. But like, also, I don't know how much of it is just a Tesla versus competitors in the EV space game versus more of like a EVs versus everybody else kind of thing. I just don't. We kind of hit that ceiling in my view of like the honeymoon period ended, and people are like, these are kind of nice, but like also not really practical maybe as much as I thought, and I don't really want to deal with this shit because now they've been around for a long time. People have had them for years, and they're like, do I want to buy another one after I had mine for now 4 years? And I don't know, maybe you don't like it as much as you thought, and you're like, and so now you're kind of seeing the hype fading out. I think that's part of it. Yeah, family who made significant gains, and then what happens is, like, if you make a lot of money on it, then you're kind of like, you have this people, and this is just human nature. It's just you have this like connection, like, oh, like Tesla made me so much money. Yeah, I'm gonna use my gains. I'm gonna buy a Tesla. Or I love Tesla now. Like, in that the momentum, everything is gone. It's gone. And the stock was probably inflated. I don't know. I'm not a fundamental guy, but from a earnings guy, I don't know. But the stock, I'm sure, was inflated. Valuations I'm sure they were way too high relative to what the stock or what the company was actually doing. And so now you're getting a catch up there. And it's not it's just boring. It's not even like, it's getting crushed. No, it's not. It's just, chopping its way down little by little over time, lower highs. Everyone moved over to NVIDIA, and then the same thing's going to happen there. One day, maybe not now, Well, same thing's gonna happen. Same thing's gonna happen. Had a huge banner in the garage. Oh my god. Damn. But that's how a lot of people were though with that stuff. Which is kind of crazy. I mean, when you really think about it, but you have to be in the game long enough and understand it, long enough to get that. Because most people are not going to be that crazy. They'll just, they buy some stocks and maybe they make some money, and then whatever happens, and then that's it. And then, they make some money, have some good runs here and there, and then they just live their lives, whatever. Most people are never going to go deep into the rabbit hole and into options, and then maybe like leveraging and margin and trying to, make more money off of like momentum or make more money off of a company that they that's got a lot of hype right now. But when you do that, eventually you're going to lose. And you'll probably lose pretty bad. And then you either learn or you don't. Either you never come back, you stop investing, or you never trade that again or do that again. Or you get really deep into the stock market trading, and then you start figuring out, how this stuff kind of works. And then you're like, oh, I was an idiot. But most people will never get that far. So I'm going to go through my big list one more time here. And then that'll probably take us to the end of the day. So let's do that. Palantir pretty weak. CrowdStrike. CRM consolidating. Boring. AVGO. Little something. A little downtrend break. Possible. Bunch of lines I have there, but keep an eye on that one. I might put it on my green list just so I keep a closer eye on it. PayPal, nope. Not interested. PDD, not really. Apple, no. Obviously, JP Morgan, we are in. Amazon, we are looking good. Well, we're not trading that. Sorry. Pfizer, honestly, looking strong, to be honest, off of these lows. I wouldn't trade it, but it's consolidating. T-Mobile. Oxy, not so good there on Oxy. I won't short that, but that would be, if anything, a short under these levels. Why won't I short it? Is because you're coming down into too big of an area of consolidation in oil. I'm not a big fan. I do think it's very possible we can get a move down towards the lower end of the range here, but that doesn't provide a massive move. I'm not interested. Huge volume node. I'm not going to mess with it. No. Ooh, Micron. Something to watch into next week, maybe. Trying to get going. Yeah, Walmart still looks good. Still does. Back tested the breakout yesterday and bounced. So you got a nice little area right here. You're trying to break to the upside. Earnings coming up though next week, so I won't, it's a no-go, but it does look good for now. How's Intel doing? Maybe I shouldn't have asked. Not good. Bank of America, is that a new all-time high today? No. But new high of the year. That's for sure. Booking crushing. Banks are looking pretty good. I don't know, for whatever reason, they're looking good. Oh my goodness, Wells Fargo, you dirty dog, you. Yeah, not surprised by that one. So I played the breakout on Wells Fargo here back on April 24th, and nice push. I did not trade it very well for how I should have. I should have played it with larger size and looked for a stop loss under the day's low. I put a stop loss here, played smaller size, but looking for a bigger move. And I then moved my stop loss way too early because I should have been playing it off the weekly time frame, but I was playing it off the daily time frame, so I shouldn't have done that. I just framed it wrong, and if I was still, if I had played it on the bigger time frames, I would still be in. I'll just, it would take a while, but I'd still be in, and it looks good. We look to be headed up towards the mid to low 60s. Well, we're in the lows. We're looking towards the mid 60s now. Looks good. Not surprised by that one. I just mishandled it. Just like a lot of things, but is what it is. Move on to the next because there'll be plenty more where that came from. PG Procter Gamble still looking like a beast. eBay, I'm hitting that up today. I found a camera in my drawer here that I used. How many years ago was that? I was in college. It was at least 5 years ago. And I'm like, I haven't used this camera in 5 years. I should probably sell it. And I looked it up. It's like $300 or $400 on eBay. I'm like, oh fuck, let's go. Maybe I can make a few bucks on it. Well, obviously I paid for it, but I could probably sell it. It's a plan. That's this weekend's plan. Listed on eBay, but I don't have the charger for it, so then it kind of gets weird. It's like, well, I can put it up to sell it, but I don't really have the charger for it, so someone probably buy it anyway. Honeywell crushing. 3M doing well. Visa doing pretty well. Been slanging a lot on eBay. Nice. I'm trying to sell my Insta360. I have the 3rd generation of it. They came out with the 4th generation of it. I don't know how much better it is, to be honest, in terms of video quality. Apparently it's supposed to be better. But I have my 58-mile race on next Saturday, so it's literally like a week away. And I'm probably not going to get a new one by then, but I wanted to get a new one at some point. But also I wouldn't be opposed to GoPro whenever they come out with their new 360 camera. I just don't know. I want the 360 camera is cool, but the quality is not as good as I would like it to be, which is not surprising. But if they can really improve the quality on those things, oh my God, is that a cool camera. Costco, holy shit. That's a new all-time high, I think, on Costco. Crusher this week. Absolute demolishing ever since the push above 730. Sony does not look good going into their earnings. Robinhood got crushed today, down. Holy shit. Talk about it. Now that is not a chart that I would want along. I mean, you look like looks like she wants to come down to 14 is what she wants to do. I mean, we'll see, but that's what it looks like. Kind of at a support level, like hanging on a thread right here, but if it breaks that, does not look good. I don't think I'm going to trade it, but I want to watch it next week. See if we get a setup though. Maybe on the 4-hour time frame or the 1-hour time frame. Qualcomm's kind of bull flagging up here. Kind of trying to. But yeah, that's the list. So 5 for 5. Let's go, dude. Shorten the pops. And it's been good. It's kind of worked. Like that stuff. That has been, I would say, since like March, my view would be kind of like shorting pops or longing dips has kind of been good. Man, I don't trade that way, but like the inverse of what the first big move is, or whatever, or of a decent move has worked, I would think, pretty good the past like 2 months, really, which is kind of cool. We'll see if maybe that changes soon, but it's been like that for a bit. I will say that's why I had to kind of jump over to silver and stuff, and I was like, I haven't been having a ton of success with the breakout strategy the past couple months, which has been not surprising with how the market's been. But so far this month is good. It's been off to a good start. But also, I guess two of the biggest trades were inverse breakdowns, were false breakdowns. So I guess, yeah, it's, you know, that's just kind of the nature of the environment. Now my job, I think, for the strategy next is to do a better job of trying to understand or seeing what maybe there could be specific criteria or signs or signals that I could use in order to frame when I look for the inverse of the breakout, right? The inverse breakdown or the inverse breakout. Obviously, the past 2 months, this environment is great for that, but I want a more like technical and systematic way to view it and to situate myself in something like that. Swinging Hood August calls. And the thing with Hood is that it will do well. Like here's the problem I have with it is with even shorting it too. If we go into a risk on environment, well, you don't want to short Robinhood, because if Bitcoin goes up and risk on stocks go up, more people are going to be using Robinhood, more people, more money for them. Stock has generally gone up when that's the case. So that's my only concern about it, from like trying to pick a side right now. But then also, like, I'm saying that as in, where is that coming from? Is that just a bias? Is that just me making up a potential scenario? I don't know. Maybe it is. So it's like, well, that hasn't happened. It's not happening. So shut up and just trade what you see. So if I trade what I see and then I don't like it, I like it short versus long. But we'll see. With that said, I'm going to wrap up for today. I know it was a little bit short, but I'm going to wrap up for this week. We'll be back on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Power Hour, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Power Hour. Tuesday, I have a tune-up with the doctor before my race, and then Friday, I should be here. So, but Thursday we'll do a morning stream. Only stream in the morning will be on Thursday next week. But hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Peace. Trade recaps coming up